Up on Up at Noon, who should play Mary Jane in Spider-Man Homecoming? Who should play Cable in Deadpool 2? And which are the laziest Pokemon designs of all time? We are deciding all of these things right now on Up at Noon Live. Hey everybody, welcome to Up at Noon. I'm Max Scoville, and this is Alana Pierce.
What's up?
Brian died.
Yeah, he died.
He died.
Yep.
He had cheese poisoning from all of the different pizzerias he visited, and if you mix the cheeses wrong, it gets bad in the tummy, so he's not here.
That sounds like a great way to go.
Yeah,
Eating too much pizza?
He died making this very face right here. He's got a horrible rictus passing on into the next world. No,
that's just so lovely.
Yeah, that's actually the traditional Italian spelling of Brian Altano.
Bren Alentio.
Yeah, Bren is Italian for bread. On that note, yeah, Brian is he's coming back from Europe. He'll be back next week, but Alana was nice enough to fill in. Alana, you've been on the show a couple times. You're our toys and culture editor.
I am. I brought with me this terrifying monster.
I hate that thing.
I love it so much.
It's really just the worst.
Well, I think it's just charming.
Stop!
Oh, wait, that's the thing that's here.
Yeah, we so I made it I made an elaborate ruse to play hooky at work. It's my decoy.
You left before me yesterday, and I kept thinking that it was legitimately you.
Yeah, people have been asking that questions.
Max, wait, no.
Yeah. Anyway, so if you're just tuning in for the first time ever, you're probably very confused. Up at Noon is a weekly live variety show about all kinds of fun stuff. You can watch it on a variety of platforms, such as IGN.com, IGN's Twitch, YouTube, PS4, Xbox One, Roku, Apple TV, and Facebook apps. Basically, you can probably accidentally watch it. That's a thing. We also try to keep track of questions in the various chat sections, and you can use the hashtag #UpAtNoon on Twitter, and we keep a lookout for that. So if you have any funny questions, yeah, there you go. This is normally part of the show where we call out our sponsor, but we don't have any sponsors, so rest in peace, Brian.
Brian is our sponsor.
The end. Yeah, so a lot of cool stuff's been happening. We didn't do a show last week because Gamescom was going on. One of the things that came out of Gamescom was the trailer for Metal Gear Survive.
Yay!
Which is the first. There's like 4 people in the comments who said that, and I think they might work for Konami. Yeah, but Metal Gear Survive is basically a spin-off of Metal Gear Solid 5, where...
Is it though?
They're saying it is. Basically, a bunch of the soldiers from Mother Base which gets blown up in Ground Zeroes before the Phantom Pain, arbitrarily get sucked into a wormhole and now must cooperate in a 4-player co-op survival setting to kill zombies. Yes,
so basically it's Left 4 Dead shoehorned into Metal Gear, and it doesn't really look like Metal Gear, but Snake is briefly in the trailer.
Yeah, he's actually briefly in the trailer.
Very briefly.
Leaving.
Yes.
So, as you might expect,
I want nothing to do with this.
It's currently not being received very well. This was actually from a couple days ago. The dislike ratio is not great, and it's very much, a lot of the commenters are comparing it to Infinite Warfare and the Ghostbusters reboot, so people aren't excited about it. That said, there are some interesting comments there. People chiming in with stuff that either sarcastically or otherwise that they would rather see than Metal Gear Survive. And honestly, I feel like there's a long list of stuff that would be better received than...
Top of my list is nothing. You know, I'd be fine if they took a break from Metal Gear for a while.
Yeah, that would be cool too. I mean, honestly, if they released this game as a new thing and it just happens to be using Metal Gear 5's mechanics, that'd be great.
Or Revengeance 2.
Yeah, Revengeance 2 would be cool. Actually, here, so I pulled a few of these. We can just take a look. Nadim Selimovic said, I think a better idea to finish the Phantom Pain. That's one thing. That kind of ended on a weird note. Or Snake Eater for modern consoles, not for pachinko machines. That would be awesome to see Snake Eater redone in the Fox engine, with all the modern stuff.
That would be absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would want that more than Survive.
And it's like, the story's already there, you know, I don't know. Express to Hell says, Metal Gear Rising Fruit Ninja, the joke works on several levels when you think about it. Yeah, seriously. What if they just did a tablet game that was like, oh, you're slicing up cyborg dogs or whatever you do in that game?
You know what? I would probably play it. Like
a gritty, over-the-top, free-to-play Fruit Ninja clone that just happens to be Metal Gear branded.
Somehow you can die and it's just Snake, no!
Yeah. Raiden, get back here, Raiden. It's the lesser-known death screen. Heinrich Lauren, who shouts his last name apparently, says, Metal Gear Medieval Warfare Arkham Siege Total Wipeout Crush Saga. I don't know what he said, but I like it. That sounds exciting.
Okay, let's digest this for Metal Gear Medieval Warfare Arkham Siege Total Wipeout Crush Saga. What kind of genre do you think that is?
Well, if you're using Arkham in the traditional sense, I feel like this would be going back to, but that and the Saga edition would be kind of going back to medieval times, more of a fantasy twist.
I think it's a mobile game.
I think it's a mobile game too.
It's a medieval.
Right. I don't know. I think
tactical mobile game.
So that's one idea. Here's one. Julian de Morel says Snake rescuing Princess Zelda would have made much more sense. This is kind of an interesting point. It wouldn't be Zelda, but the fact that they're like, hey, let's suck a bunch of dudes into a wormhole and send them to, I don't know, we don't even know where they are, but like, how cool would it be if instead of throwing a bunch of characters we don't care about back in time, what if they were like, uh-oh, Big Boss is going back in time.
That actually would be really cool.
That'd be crazy.
Or because it is like a parallel universe, they could have done whatever they wanted. They could have pulled characters from every single game into the same thing and made them play in a Left 4 Dead style, but they made them like for people we don't care about. One of them has a cool bow.
Great.
So
bows and zombies, things that have never been in games. Danish Raito says, wow, cool, can't wait for the next series. Metal Gear Farm Simulator, Metal Gear Cafe Simulator, Metal Gear How to Produce a Proper Metal Gear Series Simulator. Konami, seriously. I feel like all of those could totally be DLC for the Mother Base systems in Phantom Pain.
Oh, totally.
Like you just
a cafe and a farm simulator.
You already have a zoo. Like, how great would it be to just be like, and then you gotta like get your horses going. You gotta feed the horses and pull, And
I feel like most people love those kinds of things. Like people spend a lot of time in Mother Base. I know most people spend a lot of time in Roller Coaster Tycoon. What if you just get a roller coaster in Mother Base?
I mean,
that'd be cool.
Like my Mother Base is already this large pink behemoth that has a large graphic of a horse and it says "old woman" on it.
So it's
like,
basically
it's
already
silly.
a theme park.
Yeah, and then a chopper shows up playing Kim Wilde. So,
woohoo!
Calamochete says, "Un super Metal Gear kart racing no estaria mal hoy a estas alturas es raro que no haya sido anunciado." I have no idea what he said, but I saw Metal Gear kart racing.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
Fun fact, there is actually a Konami kart racing game for the PlayStation 1, and you can play as Snake and Gray Fox in it.
Is it good?
No, probably not. Actually, it's not even for PlayStation 1, it's for Game Boy Advance, I think. So if you want to play
That's super strange.
Cyborg Ninja Kart Racer, that exists. Leo Bro says, can wait till Metal Gear Deathmatch and Metal Gear Capture the Flag, yay. I think he wants to say Deathmatch, but Deathmatch sounds cool. That sounds like... Deathmatch.
It's like a mathematics game.
Right. So like Math Blaster, but like tactical Math Blaster action.
I'm still more interested
stealth fractions
than I am in Survive.
Also, aren't these like, I feel like Deathmatch and Capture the Flag were sort of in Metal Gear Online-ish?
Yeah, kind of.
I don't know.
Well, more so than they were in Survive.
Ismail Rodriguez says Metal Gear Soccer 2017 coming soon. Fun fact, the only other console game Konami's got going on right now is Pro Evolution Soccer, which is running on the Fox engine.
And it's actually doing pretty well this year, I believe.
Yeah, people seem to like it. I don't know. I don't know what.
It's had like its ups and downs, and I think right now it's on an up. Don't ask me, I don't play soccer
if they put out Phantom Pain DLC for that, where you're just playing as like Metal Gear characters,
but it's like Rocket League-ish.
That would be
to make it a little more intense.
Yeah, that could be really fun. But I don't think they would do that
with Overwatch. They just put Rocket League in Overwatch, and it worked super well.
That would kick ass.
Yeah.
And here's a really good point. Alien XMC says, why won't they just remake Metal Gear Solid 1 and call it a day? I don't know why they don't do that. That's kind of like
one of life's greatest questions.
It's lazy, but like they already did it with what's it called, Twin Snakes on the GameCube, which is not a great adaptation. Silicon Knights took some liberties, added some unnecessary backflipping, but I mean, really, like I'd be super down to replay that on new hardware. So that would be cool. What do you guys want to see from Metal Gear Survive or really anything else? Let us know. Also, just don't. If you're mad at Metal Gear Survive, please don't downvote this video, because that doesn't actually send any message to Konami. People seem to do that. They're like, the man on the screen says the bad thing, I do not like it. Yeah. So on the subject of outrages, there
are a lot of those on the internet.
Sure are. That's really what we do on this show, is we sort of just play damage control, and then we just go drink afterwards. Spider-Man Homecoming is coming out soon. We've got a bunch of casting rumors. We still don't really know what the hell it's about. We've got... I
think it's just going to be a romantic comedy. It's like a prom movie.
Yeah. Except the Doctor of Octopi comes home. The old rhinoceros comes and crashes the homecoming. I don't know. I hope it's super silly. People are saying it's like basically John Hughes movie with superpowers. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
They just announced casting of... Or there's rumors going around that Zendaya, who is... mixed-race model actress has been cast as Mary Jane. This isn't confirmed yet, or as of right now, it's not. And of course, people are really upset about that because historically, Mary Jane Watson is a redhead.
It's true.
So that's her defining character trait, is she's a red-haired woman.
And mixed-race people cannot wear wigs.
So let's take a look at the history of Mary Jane Watson. She was introduced in, I believe, June 1965, after being kind of teased extensively. She shows up. I love the whole, like, if you go back to the old, like, Stan Lee, Steve Ditko stuff, Aunt May's best friend is just always being, like, this, like, awful, she's just pimping her niece out, and she's all like, Peter, you're such a nice young boy. Once you're done with your wheat cakes, you want to take my niece out on a nice trip to old Makeout Corner or whatever? And Peter's like, dude, no way. I'm banging the receptionist at the Daily Bugle, which he was. He totally was. Yeah, Betty Brant. What's up? But yeah, so this is what she looks like in 1965. Also, don't want to get dark here. When Mary Jane Watson was introduced, because race is an issue in this. Race is related. Martin Luther King Jr. was still alive when they introduced Mary Jane Watson. The character is 51 years old. That is an old character.
Wow, yeah.
That
said, I feel like that means it should be kind of allowed to change.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, like, there's a lot of stuff that's changed since Spider-Man characters were introduced.
Also, a lot of stuff has changed in that 50 years.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Amazingly enough, these Todd McFarlane designs are back in fashion. Like, if you wore that, like, you do wear stuff like that, like funky little shorts and crazy headbands.
You're right. That's exactly what I wear.
Punch your hair up and you go do flash dances.
Yep, that's me.
Yeah, and then there's the frumpiest era was the
good old turtleneck cardigan.
Yeah, can't have those kids getting any crazy ideas on Fox Kids Afternoons or whatever the hell it was called. God, that was really. She was fine, but really, it's just awful. Was she like borrowing clothes from her aunt? I don't know.
Yes.
And then, of course, there was Ultimate Spider-Man, Mark Bagley's weirdly, everybody looks like they're having some kind of shellfish allergy art style.
Why are they all so scared? Is this them flirting with each other?
No, this is early on. This is when he's like, I'm Spider-Man, and she's like, Are you drunk?
That's hot.
Trying to score. And then then there's Kirsten Dunst, who I honestly was never really into as Mary Jane. I think they were going for more of like a girls next door approach.
Yeah.
But like, you know, Mary Jane's supposed to be like a total bombshell. I don't mean to be like that's her defining characteristic. Is she's
super hot.
She's super hot and she's awesome. And she's like, I don't know, she gets along with Peter and it's like a good partnership. Like the color of the hair should be kind of an afterthought to that. So
I feel like Kirsten Dunst is pretty hot though.
She looks like my ex, so I have issues with that.
Oh.
Yeah. Also, I don't know. She's weird. But that's what my ex looks like now. Yeah, that's why. Yeah. Ugh.
Just put a red wig on her and you wouldn't know.
Yeah. Also, I love how like if somebody wore that dress in a Spider-Man movie now, there'd be like a whole bunch of Gawker articles. Well, not Gawker articles because that's
Tumblr articles.
Yeah, Tumblr articles. People would be like, she's misappropriating dresses. And then of course, here's Zendaya, who's allegedly rumored to be the casting of maybe Mary Jane. She might be somebody entirely different. We have no idea. So if you look closely at her hair. It's not red.
It's not red.
Right.
Yeah.
Now look very carefully. What if it was?
Oh.
Amazingly, this took me like 10 minutes in Photoshop. When they make films,
whoa,
they do incredible things using the magic of cinema. Some of that includes changing the entire color of someone's hair.
She looks really good.
Yeah, she looks fine in all sorts of the way. Yeah, completely. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm just so over this kind of stuff. I really just want to swear about it because
every time something like this happens, I'm like, I get that you're attached to a character and having a character that you really identify with changing sucks, but I don't feel like Mary Jane is really one of those characters, honestly. I feel like she has changed a lot in the entirety of her 50-year lifespan. She's already changed a lot, and clinging to the red hair thing doesn't really make sense.
I think she was a werewolf at one point. But I know Captain America was a werewolf, but yeah, like
probably people can dye their hair.
Yeah. Also, like, I mean, fun fact, I mean, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, kid from Queens. The last two guys who've played him have been Englishmen from the grand old UK, and they've done great jobs.
He's definitely not English.
Yeah. So, on that note, let's talk about some more Marvel casting. And we're probably going to get much less upset people for us being raging SJWs about it. Deadpool 2 is a thing that's going to happen. Yes. I'm so excited about that.
I'm very happy about this. Deadpool was, so you're a huge Deadpool fan.
Yeah.
I've read Deadpool for a long time. That movie was exactly what I wanted it to be.
Yeah, right?
Absolutely.
It was just like, it was really fun.
It's also just, it's so satisfying to have a movie adaptation of a comic book be what you want it to be.
Yeah.
And not...
How is it so hard?
I feel like it's one of the only ones that got it totally right.
Exactly. And it simultaneously was like a totally functional superhero movie while also being a totally great satire of superhero movies.
It's also like weirdly a pretty deep romantic comedy.
Yeah.
Like it's totally a romance movie.
So I don't know what Deadpool 2 is going to be, but we're teased that Cable's going to be in it, and there have been a lot of back and forths about who's going to play him and so forth. And Tim Miller, who directed the first movie, has kind of hinted at some stuff in interviews and tweets and stuff. And he mentioned that one guy he's really curious about playing Cable is Kyle Chandler, who you might know from, he's been in a bunch of stuff, most recently, most notably, I think he was in Wolf of Wall Street. He plays that poor federal agent who gets lobsters thrown at him. I mean, he's all right. I think he's fine. He seems too nice to be Cable.
He does have a kind of sweet face.
Meanwhile, there's a rumor going around that the studio, that being Fox, is more interested in getting Liam Neeson to play Cable.
I feel like that kind of works.
That also kind of works. And then Rob Liefeld, who created Deadpool and Cable, has said that he wants John Hamm to play Cable.
Also works.
Yeah, these
all right,
all work.
I'm cool with all of those.
Also, again, to touch on the whole the changing of hair colors in superhero comic characters, everyone's like, we should get that guy from Avatar, or that one Muscle Man wrestler, or Dolph Lundgren. It's like, again, look at the acting. Look at the actor, not the hair. Just look down a little tiny bit, and then look at what they're doing with their face.
I mean, no matter how close it looks to being Cable, it's still not going to have glowy eyes, or be able to have superpowers.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. I mean, remember that time where they took that doughy guy from Parks and Rec and they made him Star-Lord? Like, they do stuff. There's like a machine they put people in at Marvel, and they crap out superheroes. So that said, whoever goes in is going to kind of come out ripped and whatever. But what I'm curious about is, what should the tone be for Cable? Because the character's been kind of changed a lot over the years.
Yeah, sometimes he's really grumpy. Yeah. Sometimes he's a little more lighthearted. We've spoken about this before. My favorite iteration of Cable is in Cable and Deadpool.
Yeah.
I feel like they just complement each other so well. And Deadpool is a total jerk and very sarcastic, and then Cable just kind of cancels him out, but also tolerates him without being irate and annoying.
Yeah, so I mean, if you look at the first appearance of Cable, or the early stuff, he's pretty much just like, he's like Reese from Terminator, but turned up to 11. He's just this like hyper-military, like, oh, the mutants are gotta get out of here. Like, he starts out coaching the New Mutants, and then he's like too aggro, and like Professor X is like, yo man, can you stop shouting at these children?
Chill,
and he's
son.
like, we're starting X-Force, everybody, get over here. Domino, put on a shirt. And then like later on, you get him in Cable and Deadpool, and it's like when kids go to college and your parents like chill the hell out. They like go, put in a hot tub or whatever. So he's like,
what?
I don't know. That hasn't happened to me.
I actually feel like they kind of have like a brother relationship, where Deadpool's like the annoying younger brother, and Cable's just like, you know what? I love you, but I hate you also.
So like thinking about that, I really want an actor who can nail that, who can have like, I feel like Liam Neeson is a fantastic actor, and he's a badass action star, and he would totally be fine for the earlier Cable.
Yeah.
But like, for anything that like, for being like a fun kind of foil, for being like a good buddy cop relationship, I think he'd be a little bit too dry.
I mean, he is capable of doing lighthearted stuff, but we usually see Liam Neeson as being this kind of taken version of Liam Neeson's acting.
Exactly.
I feel like doesn't bounce off of Deadpool very well.
No, it seems like it'd be kind of weird. I mean, maybe if they do like a future version. I mean, Cable's in all different iterations of time and space and all that. So, but like,
there's that one part where he has a little baby strapped to his chest. That
little,
was weird.
Little baby Cable.
Yep.
But yeah, like I still think John Hamm is like the best option right now.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with that. Yeah.
He's a good actor, but he can be serious, but he can also be like kind of like tongue in cheek and funny. So,
yeah.
Who do you guys want to see to play Cable?
Yeah, let us know. Someone suggested that they think it would be really funny if they saw Kate McKinnon as Mary Jane Watson in the next Spider-Man movie.
Huh.
That wouldn't make any sense.
She'd
but
be
I
a
like
little bit old for young Tom Holland.
I think it would be funny.
Yeah, I love it if they just cast like some really old redhead to just be like
someone you're never expecting.
Yeah, just someone just completely just inappropriate, like. Face it, Tiger, you just hit the jackpot. It's like,
what if it's
Oprah? What?
Oprah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Why not?
Look under your seat, Tiger. Everyone just hit the jackpot. All right, so moving on. While we're still talking about Deadpool, I don't know, you talk about toys and stuff. You do toy stuff. Tell the fine folks at home what a Nendroid is.
Nendroid is a Japanese manufactured kind of minifig. They're that tall-ish, and they are very, very, very poseable, and also often very adorable. They have really, really big faces and tiny bodies, and usually like super cute giant eyes.
They're funky little cute baby toys.
They are, but they're also very poseable and very well made. Great articulation.
They've done a bunch of these. They've done like I think some Link. They've done like Pokemon trainers.
The Pokemon ones are my favorite.
A bunch of anime characters I can't identify.
There's a whole bunch of Animal Crossing ones. There's lots of them.
One that just popped up that I'm really excited about is there's a Deadpool on the way, and it's perfect. So look at this little guy. I just want to just gush over this for a second. This guy's going to be, I think he's like, what are they? They're usually like $30, $40, something like that.
Yeah,
somewhere in that price range.
It can be a lot more expensive.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, they got to import it from Japan. But like, look at he's got his little pants. He's got his
tiny little legs.
He's got his little.
Look at his little boots.
He's like picking his nose, and then it's cool because there's all this customization where you can take his little pants off. Or you can
I wonder how that works.
You can make him have a crush on someone. Look at his eyes.
That is very cute.
He's got funky eyes.
I wonder if it's like what they're doing there is just popping out the white part and popping something else in.
Yeah, no, it's just removable pieces. And,
that's really cool.
Isn't that great? And then you can just have them give them thumbs up.
A wink and a thumbs up.
Yeah, so I'm just
adorable.
I want this. Also, if you want to like put it with your regular Marvel figures and you're worried about it being like canonical, there is totally a character called WIDDLE Wade who was like some odd interpretation of Chibi Deadpool from back in the 90s.
I also just want to say that I love that it has, you know how Deadpool's mask always had that little saggy bit at the back?
Yeah.
They included that on that too, which is
cute.
really cool.
I don't know, that's a fun toy. There's a bunch of fun little Deadpool toys coming out in the next year, so keep an eye on this one. Nendoroid. I don't know how to spell it. Google it. So on the
note of that,
on the note of the collectibles of the Marvel,
we have the Marvel Collecticore that we're going to unbox for you guys. This is powered by Funko. They are available every 2 months for $25. This one is, I don't know, I guess Spider-Man themed. So let's open it up.
What makes you say that?
There's actually a character called Spider-Man on the front of it. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that.
Ronald Spider-Man.
Yes. So that's, I could be completely wrong. Also, it says Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
So what do we got here?
So we start with, they always come with a pin. So we have a nice little red Collecticore pin with a little spider on it.
Okay.
And a patch, which is the same kind of thing. These come in every single box. I feel like if you are collecting all of them, it's a pretty great way to display like a full collection of different characters.
One thing I figured out with pins is that I don't really wear pins, though they are subtly back in style on denim jackets and stuff. I've been like really down just using them as like decorative push pins on my bulletin board.
Yeah, totally.
It's like
that's a really good idea.
Them in my desk. Yeah.
We also have The Amazing Spider-Man comic. He looks very cute here.
That's the issue where he gets that symbiote that turns him into a big-headed Funko monster.
I think that's a lie.
Yeah,
but
I think so.
yeah, they do often have the Funko style art, and then of course we have a Funko Pop in here as well. This one's actually got a pretty cool pose.
Get him out of that box. Get
that man out of that box. So this is 160. Seriously, there are so many Funko Pops at this point.
Yeah.
And people collect them, and it's just.
I don't know. I'm.
Man died.
Nice.
All right.
Oh, see, that looks really weird if you just like put him. If you like. Who says you have to be a bobble? You could be a bobble body.
I don't like that at all.
Whoa.
Nope, bad. It's far too close to my face.
That's awful. Also, that noise they make is just the worst.
I'm just going to let you do it. I'm just going to let you do it. All right.
Spider-Man,
so he comes to the stand. This guy is. Well, oh yeah, it's actually not that his body is. Well, he's dead now. His body is not meant to be the wobbly part.
Toys and culture,
it's meant to be his head. So there we go.
What's
we have
this?
A nice. You don't know what that is. It's a cap.
It appears to be some sort of drinking bowl.
It's definitely a hat.
It's a hat. All right.
Does it look cool?
I like
the color of that.
It's, all right.
It's like a gray and a
I'd be
navy.
so down. I know Funko has their brand identity to protect, but I'd be so down if they just had like a classic, Spider-Man design on here somewhere. Also,
what about their brand?
With a brand. Oh, these are
and this is a soft sculpture. Apparently.
A soft sculpture, otherwise known as a stuffed animal or a plushie.
Well, I guess it's still got the same kind of Funko design with the giant head.
It
looks like pretty nice quality fabric. So yeah, these boxes are $25, and I have to say, I feel like they're not. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth subscribing to. Of course, if you like Funkos, it's a very good way to be able to collect a lot of them very easily. They just get shipped to you. The next one's Doctor Strange.
Okay. Yeah, I would say for like the fact that they're specifically themed, it works better than something that's like completely just like a shotgun blast of
that's
themed
true.
stuff.
Because you can like sub in for one or the other, depending on which one you want, which is really cool.
Yeah, they also do the, we've unboxed the Star Wars Smuggler's Bounty on here before.
Yeah, and they also have a DC one, which is pretty cool. So those are all available on different websites. This one is Marvel Collector Core.
Yeah.
Of course, by Funko. And we now have a new Funko Pop who thrusts very effectively.
The thrusty neighborhood Spider-Man.
You know, that's great.
They say he's thrustworthy.
Damn it, Max.
Yeah, sorry. So, Alana, you're from the far-off island of Australia.
Yes.
Yes. They did something bad again.
No.
In addition to those spider fires and the awful tornadoes and so forth.
I don't think you can blame Australia for... Also, I don't think we have tornadoes.
I've read on the computer they got tornadoes all over Australia. So anyway, this one is a man-made disaster. The Microsoft organization of Australia Island has revealed that they decided a cool cross-branded thing would be Xbox One onesies or Xbox onesies. Look at them.
I love it. I think it's so great.
Yeah, look at these. There are people.
Look how happy they are about wearing those giant one-piece suits.
Thermal gaming uniforms have arrived for you and your loved ones. You won't notice the gradual weight gain of a long-term relationship. That creeping normalcy of having 2 bowls of popcorn instead of just one.
One's a little bit smaller than the other.
Do you mean the bowl or the people?
Both?
It could be a trick of the eyes. I think that's kind of weird. She's like, I want more popcorn than you, and he's like, okay, well, I get the white Xbox onesie. So something I want to point out about this. It's a fine idea, I guess. I mean, the black one I think makes sense. The white one, it's not. Here's another close-up photo they got. Oh, it's got a fun pocket for your controller. There's also one for on the other side.
A TV, apparently.
Apparently, for your entire monitor is supposed to fit in that pocket.
There's one on the upper shoulder that's for a Windows phone, which is funny because no one really owns those.
You can put it in that pocket while you wait for app support.
Yeah.
This is great, except that's not what that looks like after eating popcorn with your loved ones and playing games for a while. It would actually look more like this. So. You know, word to the wise, don't do that.
Is that Dorito residue there?
Of course it is.
Some chocolate, I think.
Yeah. Do you ever have a whole bag of Reese's Cups and then just need to scratch yourself? Because this guy did.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I'm not a horrible slob of a man, but like I'll get stains on clothes, and I don't know how often you wash a onesie. Like,
white stuff sucks. It's
not
fun to wear. But I love this, and I think that the point of it is it's supposed to be, it's Xbox Australia specific, and I think it's just them showing a sense of humor. They're like, this is a dumb pun.
Yeah.
Let's do it. It's not actually available for sale, so they're not profiting off of it. It's just like
just a goof?
This is funny.
All right, that's fair.
And I feel like it's taken off pretty well, but I'm just wondering what's next. Is it going to be like the PS 4-piece suit?
I would be cool if they started making some gaming pants that allow you to just wipe the cheesy snack fingers all over them.
I do have a lot of trouble gaming in regular pants, you know? There's no pants that quite work when gaming.
What about some sort of food condom for your controller so you don't get snack dust all over it?
They actually do have those.
Really?
Yeah.
They've got controller covers that are like disposable? That's really weird.
Absolutely a thing.
All right, I'm disgusted. Alana, you just recently reviewed a game called Valley on the game systems.
Yes, it is on various game systems. PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Now, this is the lowest review score you give in a game. What did you give it?
5 out of 10, which is, on our scale, mediocre.
Yeah, that's just...
It's not bad, it's mediocre.
One thing you told me is that you can do sick jumps in it. So we played it for 5 minutes, and I attempted to do sick jumps while killing deer. Let's take a look.
Kind of failed.
All right, welcome to the Up at Noon Challenge. Alana, what's this game?
This is Valley.
What is this game about?
It's made by Blue Isle, the guys who made Slender the Arrival, and it's basically a game about a valley where you run through it.
Okay. Did you turn the sensitivity up on this really a lot?
Yes, because if you don't, there's this part in this game where you run really fast and then you go around corners, and if the sensitivity isn't very high, you just run into walls. It's very bad.
Okay. Well, so you told me that you can do sick jumps in this game.
You can do sick jumps. Yes.
That's a floaty jump.
That was not a sick jump.
These jumps are not sick so far.
No. You will need to get out of this area to pursue the sick jumps. Go right.
How do I run fast?
Hold down LT. That's the one.
Wow, okay, I'm getting kind of fast here.
Yeah, look, you go.
Whoa, whoa!
Speed demon.
Okay, I see why you had the sensitivity turn up. Okay, so I'm in the quest for the sickest jumps. Oh boy. Search the purse.
If you run instead of jumping, you like build up speed that will let you do sweet jumps.
Am I gonna run over those little meerkats or whatever those are. Oh, I killed a bird.
I feel like they're like Ghibli spirits, is what I think of those things.
They look like those slurms from Futurama.
You know what? There's a cool thing where you can kill them.
What? Let me see. What did I kill?
It would be the right R1. Is it?
Is it that one?
There you go.
Just eat them?
Yep, there you go.
Oh, wow.
Look at you. You murdered that man.
I killed a little ghost. Oh, no!
Yeah.
Is he mad?
You can punch it back into him with R2. There you go. Now
he's
he's happy
happy.
again. Yeah.
What a little
Strange
wiener.
game.
Okay, this is kind of weird.
All right.
Am I building up speed?
You are building up speed.
What if I get that thing?
You can get that thing.
Wow.
A thing. You can jump this.
Okay, that's a pretty good jump, I guess.
No, it's fine. You can get a lot faster.
I want to get fast.
Keep going. All right, that's a hill.
Okay, so I'm getting momentum going. Okay.
Where you go?
Going pretty fast here. Really getting going.
Yeah, this is totally the coolest part of this game. It has a lot of there's like some lore and some weird stuff in here, but it's kind of let down by that. The most fun moments of Valley are when you're just running around.
Just doing some
on
sick
hills,
jumps.
doing sick jumps.
Okay, is that a hill? That's a hill.
Yeah.
The hill with you. So what are you like a kangaroo or?
You are a person in it's called a leaf suit, which is basically a mech suit, LEAF, I guess.
With kangaroo powers?
It just has like weird, if you look down, you can see your own knees, and I find that very uncomfortable.
Huh.
So you can kind of see it. It's like it's kind of like Chell's boots, right? In Portal, so it just like makes you very, very springy. The people who wore these suits in this game world are called Pathfinders. And the idea was they could reach locations that other people couldn't to scout them out because of those
Oh, can I kill that
sick
deer?
jumps. You can kill the deer. Oh, that was
Oh, whoa!
rough.
That's not how a gun
That
works.
was real rough.
Can I bring it back to life?
Yeah. There you
Okay,
go.
that's pretty weird. Oh, that ghost is back. Give me. Come here, you little wiener.
They make really sad noises when you take like that.
Get over here. I'm faster than you. What?
I hate the noise. It's so sad.
This Ghostbuster?
That thing is pretty fast, actually. There you go.
Haha! Oh, I can't stay mad at you.
Yeah.
What a weird game.
It's pretty
This is
strange.
a really weird game.
Yeah, it is pretty strange.
Can I do? I can't launch that one. Damn.
You would have been able to if you had picked up a little bit more speed. So, it's all totally momentum based.
Okay.
Fun.
What if I do this one?
I don't think you'll do that.
Whee! Okay, that's kind of
Ooh,
that's
you
kind of
did.
neat. That's a sick
Sort
jump.
of,
That's
yeah.
a sick jump,
That was
Alana.
a sick jump.
Oh no.
Oh!
Wait.
Well,
oh,
you're fine.
am I the greatest?
Well, I don't know where you're gonna go from here, but
The only way to go is anywhere. Can I go
try.
up?
There's like a bank,
A bank?
a beach.
Do I have to pay for
You
that?
might be able to. You might be able to jump to that beach.
Okay. I do like the effect of just kind of falling, and
It's very cool, yeah.
it feels kind of clunky though. You know, it's like I'm wearing big metal kangaroo boots.
Well, I mean, you are. It's always very floaty.
What's that?
That's a break. So the energy is the thing that powers your suit. And when you like take energy from one of those animals that you're killing, you're basically drawing that out of them, and it gives you energy to your energy bar.
All right.
And if you give it back, then you lose one energy slot.
So you're telling me I should kill more deer?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's so this game has some really cool stuff, but I reviewed it this week, and like one of the things is there would be absolutely no consequence for you killing the deer.
Okay.
It doesn't mean it.
So
You can do it.
does the deer get pissed off if you keep killing him and bring him back to life
The
repeatedly?
deer oddly doesn't notice. So no.
All right. Well,
It's totally fine.
you answered all my questions about Valley and in those land of sick jumps.
Yes.
And I'm gonna kill these little men here.
Aw.
Come here, you little wiener. Get over here, you damn ghost. What was
That
that?
was very dramatic.
Is that a bad boy?
I don't think there are any. No,
Oh, okay.
that was just
Well-
you picking up energy.
All right. So Valley, it's a game.
It
I
is
guess.
definitely a video game.
Go check out Alana's review. If you like sick jumps, I also recommend Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Yeah.
And Portal.
There's that deer. I'm gonna get it.
You didn't even get the deer.
Your soul is mine.
You stole from the tree.
Cool.
Hey, the show is still here. We didn't leave. Wait, where'd that thing go? Is it flying around? Is it flying around again? Anyway, we're back. I saw it. It just went by. So, Alana, as I mentioned earlier on the show, you're from the far-off land of Australia.
I am, yes.
Some more news popped up. This time is the good news out of Australia.
Finally.
Yeah. There's a restaurant there that is making Pokemon hamburgers. They look adorable.
I think they're super cute, but also I don't really want to eat them because they're so cute.
Yeah. So this is, I believe it's at a restaurant. I don't know if it's a chain. I asked you about it. I think it's called Bush Tucker.
I think it actually might be called Down Under.
Down Under? Okay.
Whatever it is, it's an Australian stereotype.
Okay, that works.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the Outback Steakhouse.
I think you can see it there. It's like Down and Out or something. I'm not.
Okay,
You know.
Down and Out burger. It's like a depressing in and out. All right, so yeah, but they've apparently got different themed ones. You've got the sort of vegetable-laden Bulbasaur. You've got the kind of just regular Pikachu with just a lot of melty-ass cheese, which looks like his little melted arms.
Oh, that looks so tasty,
and
also
then,
gross.
Yeah, and then you've got a spicy Charmander.
Yeah.
Which would you pick?
I want to eat the Pikachu, frankly.
I want that Charmander. I like spicy burgers.
Well, I don't think I can eat a Charmander. It's always my starter. Pikachu's just annoying and
You
follows
could
you
eat a
around.
Pikachu? What?
Hates you most of the time.
I need a Bulbasaur. I need to get more greens anyway. I don't know. Like,
So apparently these burgers are actually pretty good.
really?
Yeah.
I think Lucy from IGN is down there checking it out. I think she finally caught some of these in the wild.
She did.
I just love themed food. I love when we get to talk about weird hamburgers and stuff on this stupid show.
I wonder how they
There's a video for doing it already.
they obviously imprint the black on there somehow.
I feel like it's probably just like a
An
cooking,
edible spray.
Yeah, it's like that spray paint cake stuff.
Yeah?
Like that stuff that people were getting when they're doing Mad Max Fury Road costumes. It's just like spray on frosting.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, I guess there's actually a video on IGN of Lucy O'Brien eating these fantastic hamburgers. So,
Got to be one of our first ever food reviews, probably. So check that out.
No, Brian made headlines with the scary black hamburger in Japan.
Oh, I've always
Yeah.
wanted to eat one of those. I just like weird burgers.
Yeah, they're great.
It's kind of exciting.
Anyway, so one thing that's cool when Brian's not here is we get to talk about fun stuff as opposed to just boring old Star Wars, which is also fun. But you are a younger person than Brian, which means that you have an actual appreciation for things such as Pokemon and Dragon Ball.
That's true.
So we're going to talk about those things. Pokemon's been, obviously a hot topic lately because of Pokemon Go, and everyone's like, oh, I remember the old 151.
Pokemon World Championships were also last weekend.
Yeah. But yeah, so I figured I would kind of get something off my chest. A lot of the Pokemon designs in general are just lazy.
Yeah.
Like,
People talk about newer generations of Pokemon looking bad. Have you seen an Execute?
yeah.
That's just
So,
a pile of eggs.
Hold on now. Hold on. We'll get to that.
We have prepared some images.
We've prepared the 10 laziest Pokemon designs in no particular order because I accidentally put them in alphabetical order. So
that is in order.
yes. On that note, Ditto. My theory is that somebody was like, I just feel like at Game Freak there are certain days where they're like, hey, we're behind schedule. We've got to meet our quota for Pokemon, and it's like 4:30 on a Friday, and the guy wants to just take off and I don't know, go play Monster Rancher or something, whatever they do to unwind. And they're like, all right, we'll make up a Pokemon. He's like, he just goes, just draws a squiggle, and he's like, what's that? And he's like, it can become any other Pokemon.
Okay, that's not lazy. That part's creative. The
That's
part
not
that I think
creative.
is lazy is the fact that it's a pink blob with a haunting smile.
Well, I mean, it is palette swap the Pokemon. Like that's all. It's just
Someone just like typed a colon and a bracket and then chucked it on a pink blob.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
Ditto. I like that Ditto can imitate other Pokemon.
Again, I don't want to say like I don't have a problem with Ditto. Ditto's fine. He's funny, but like, get that out of there. That's terrifying. Stop it. Yeah, no, like I just think that this is again kind of a lazy design. Also worth
lazy
noting,
design.
the original 150 or the original Game Boy ones, some of the designs are simpler because they had to make them able to be told apart on like very low resolution.
Yeah.
So like we're gonna be kind of mean about it, but we don't mean to be that mean.
But also, I do
again,
want to mention that I love Pokemon.
Yeah, we don't hate the Pokemon. We think they're great.
Execute. Pile of
Execute.
eggs with one dead egg.
Yeah, so
Can we talk about back egg being dead?
I never thought about this. That's really screwed up.
They're just hanging out with a dead guy.
Yeah, they're like, this is like Weekend at Bernie's with Pokemon.
Front three guys are like nearly dead. Like if they roll around a little bit too much because they're eggs, they will die.
Yeah,
Like
also,
back guy.
Again, like I'm
Look
always
how sick back right guy looks.
he's not
miserable.
sick. He's dead. He's got like a serious trauma. That is not that egg.
Oh, I meant back left guy.
Oh,
Look
back
at his
left.
face.
Yeah, no, I think he's just a jerk. I think he's like. I think they look like a bunch of bullies.
If he were to make a noise, I think it would be like.
Huh? huh.
That would be the noise that he would be making.
The one on the other one, the dead one, you know what noise he would make?
None, because
exactly.
he's dead.
He's a dead egg. So anyway,
hanging out
yeah,
with a
these
dead
are just
egg.
a weird bunch of...
Literally, it is a pile of eggs.
I don't know how they become Executor. I guess they're supposed to also be seeds. But anyway, hey, it's what is it, Grimer?
It is, yes.
Grimer. All right, so
it's
this time it's a purple blob with a face.
What if we made the pink blob that has a face slightly more animated and gave it arms?
We gave the pink blob some arms, and this time it's a little bit more evil. Now, I gotta say, Muck is a kind of an awesome design because he looks kind of menacing, like he's actually like coming out of the ground.
A little angrier, yeah.
But Grimer's just like, he just looks like a purple tiger ghost.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not wild about him. So
I mean, I think he's a little cute, but
Yeah.
you know, he's just got little ripples. Like, what is he even made out of? What substance is that?
Is
it
he
bin juice?
stinky?
I feel like he
Is
definitely
he
stinks.
stinky? All right,
Almost
I don't know.
definitely.
Probably a stinky guy. Here's one that I don't like. It's Gulpin. He's from one of the later generations. Gulpin is a stomach Pokemon.
Also, can we talk about how he's covered in testicles?
I mean, yeah.
That's like at least 3 pairs of
That's
balls
a
on there.
very valid observation. Also, what the hell is that feather thing?
Well,
on
I
top?
think what they did was they got a stomach and then added like a rim to a baseball cap, chucked some testicles on it, and then poked it with like one of those feather pens.
Fair enough.
That's what that Pokemon
My
is.
theory is that the guy was like, they were like, all right, come on, Steve. Probably not the guy's name. Like, Steve, you got to design more Pokemon. It's almost
Traditional
and
Japanese
it's like,
man, Steve.
In this case, everyone's going to lunch, and they're like, you got to get one more done. We got that meeting after lunch. And he's like, his stomach goes, and he's like, Eureka. And he just draws a gross stomach that wants to go take lunch. So there's that.
It is a little transparent as well, right?
Yeah.
Not crazy?
I don't, you can see some fluids in there, some bile. What
Well,
a gross.
that's nice.
It's both gross and it's lazy. I don't like you gulping. All right, here's one. This is Honage.
Look, I actually really like playing with Honage.
So that's the thing is Honage is cool, but it's like he kind of crosses a line. I know that Pokemon are kind of based on weird stuff here and there, and you got ice cream cones and you got like birds, but like a sword, I feel like that's just kind of, it's a slippery slope from that point forward, because how long before there's just a Pokemon that's just a gun?
Yeah, and also just here we have, over-designed sword with ponytail.
Yeah,
basically what
and then
that
it gets
is.
worse because there's like 2 evolutions, and you're like, did you really need 2? Like,
Yeah, and the second
3?
evolution is just like, it's just 2 swords crossed. It's like,
Yeah.
it's still just a sword.
That's not an
really.
evolution. That's when your friend shows up.
It never even occurred to me that he has a little face.
Yeah.
Those are 2 eyes and like 3 teeth, so its facial expression is just constantly an intimidating smile.
Yeah.
Sword with ponytail used to intimidate.
Yeah. Also, like, can we talk about the fact that when a Pokemon evolution is just more of that Pokemon? That really isn't, like, I have 1 dog currently. If I get a second dog, I did not evolve my dog. I just got another dog. So, like, Dugtrio.
You dyed in pink.
Get the hell out of here. Here's one that a lot of people like to talk crap on. It's Klefki. I had to look at that because I always just say the key one.
Keychain.
There's like a Honda key on there. They're not even
there
like,
is.
They're not
Yeah.
even like magical keys.
That's my house key.
Yeah.
That's a Honda key. That's a gate key.
That's
And
one.
then-
That gold one there is one of those really expensive ones that if you lose it, you have to like pay the locksmith for another one, and it's like $120.
They have to import it from Europe.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, we
not
got
even
to
an
register the
efficient
number for it. Yeah, so
keychain.
yeah, Klefki's just again like, did this guy lose his keys, or was somebody just like jingling keys, or he was like, I'm trying to think of a Pokemon design, and he just like went, oh, that's right, I have a Pokemon with me right now. It's keys.
Also, his face is kind of a lock.
Do you think he ever
What
just
kind
like,
of inefficient keychain unlocks itself?
Yeah, oh, does he stuff his hands in his face? What is that kind of dirty? Let's move on. Krabby. It's a crab.
It's a crab.
A lot of the Gen 1s are they're just an animal. Like a Pidgey is just a bird, but a crab is like, come on, like crabs get weirder than that. There are crabs in real life that look weirder than that Pokemon. They were just like, it's a crab.
They changed it to a K at the start and then chucked
Yeah.
a BY on the end. You were like, you know what? It's an exotic crab.
Yeah, and
It's
then
a
it
crabby.
turns into a king crab, kingler.
Kingler, which is just a large crab.
Here's another one, Unknown, which is the friggin' alphabet. What the, really?
Yep.
I don't like this one bit.
Well, I mean, that one at least is not that lazy. It's just very strange.
Well, it's lazy. It's cheap. I'll put it that way, because it's like if you want to really catch them all, you got to catch 26 of this regular. I guess it's not even. It's more than 26 because there's punctuation there too. Do you think they ever find like an ampersand unknown and they're like, oh god, it's horribly deformed. Or the other ones like kill it. They're like, this cannot be one of us. It's not a
You
real
reckon
one.
they coexist, or they have some kind of hierarchy there?
Yeah. Or like foreign ones have like accents on them, or like, you know, umlauts. They're like, oh, this is our friend Steve. I don't know why I keep saying Steve. This is our German friend, and it's just like one of those with two dots over his head. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's the alphabet.
I don't even have a comment on that. It doesn't make any sense.
Voltorb.
Ah, a ball.
Come on. Voltorb is probably the laziest Pokemon design, where they were just like...
At least it has a facial expression. You know, I can garner from Voltorb an emotion. There is an emotion there. It's only one ever.
Well, I don't get, like, the Voltorb's face, and then he evolves into Electrode, which is just... His colors are inverted, and he looks really happy.
Yeah.
Why? Why? I don't get that. I don't know.
Like they were just like, you know, we got something good with this Pokeball design.
Yeah.
What if we made a Pokemon out of it?
Maybe there's something I'm missing here, but Voltorb, get out of here. And then finally, you know what? People, you know, have issues with Gen 5. I really like Gen 5 because it is so much of kind of like it's like a reboot of Gen 1, I feel like. Like it was the first one where they were kind of like, hey, let's do completely new ones from the ground up, or maybe not the first one, but, you know, like that. And this one is kind of like, he's kind of a Psyduck or a Farfetch'd, but they're just like Ducklet.
It's a duck.
It's an ice duck. But it's just a blue duck, and that makes me think of Billy Madison, because he's just like, I've never seen a blue duck, so I drew a blue duck. I don't think Ducklet is quacktastic. Anyway, as we mentioned, we don't hate the Pokemon. We like them a whole bunch. These are just some that maybe they could have drawn some more eyebrows on them, or maybe less testicles, whichever. Who do you think is the laziest Pokemon design? Let us know, because we'd like to know that sort of stuff. Now, as I mentioned, Brian's not here. So we get to talk about Dragon Ball Z.
Yay!
Dragon Ball. Have you been watching Dragon Ball Super?
No, I really need to though.
Yeah, I feel like I never even watched all of GT because it didn't feel like real to me. Like
I get GT not feeling real, but it's still fun, and apparently Super's kind of the same.
I want to watch like a super cut of all the weird parts of those.
You need like a Kai version of.
Yeah,
GT.
Not even a Kai. I want the weird stuff.
The weird stuff. There's
a
lot of weird stuff in GT.
Like where Vegeta grows a mustache in GT and everyone gets mad at him, or the part in like I saw like a clip from Super where Piccolo's like talking about parenting, and he's like, you've got to cook the baby Pan's rice better.
Well, Piccolo was like always a good parent.
Yeah, but he's like straight up like lecturing Chi-Chi about how to do better parenting.
Chi-Chi also kind of sucks.
Yeah. So that raises a good question. There are just dozens and dozens of characters in Dragon Ball in that whole universe.
At least 10.
And everybody knows, dozens, at least 10. There you go, a baker's dozen.
10.
So I figured we'd go over some of the ones that are underrated, because there's a lot of them out there, and everyone knows Goku and Vegeta and Trunks and all that. But I want to talk about some ones who never get any love. And we're not going to talk about Krillin, because Krillin's great, and he dies all the time, and everyone's going to make fun of him for that. But Krillin's not on this list. So if you were hoping we'd say Krillin, bad news, Krillin is not on here. So that being said, let's start with one of my personal favorites. Android 16.
That man's got real dumb hair.
He's got awesome hair.
Sorry.
Android 16 is the best. Android 16 is so cool because he's like he's like the android, and they're like he's the one who basically helps Gohan beat Cell in a more meaningful way than soccer dad Goku just showing up as a ghost.
But I also really like that he is always kind of really he's really nice, but he's also super weird about Goku because he was originally meant to kill Goku.
That's his prime directive.
Yeah. Like, that's what he was like programmed to do, and
Dr. Briefs took out the chip in my head that made me do murder, but I don't like you.
Yeah. But he's like a really sweet guy, but he just hates Goku.
Yeah. He also loves birds.
I respect
17,
that.
stop the van, I want to look at birds. And then there's Bulma. Again, these aren't really in particular order. Bulma,
I love Bulma.
How screwed would those guys be if Bulma wasn't around? Like,
She's super smart.
First of all, there would be no Dragon Ball because Goku would just be this weird, super strong redneck who lived in the woods and punched logs for fun.
I wonder what would have happened if Goku never had him at Bulma.
I mean, he
probably would have monster and tried to fight it.
He probably would have turned into Jason Voorhees. Like, he's just this kid who lives in the middle of nowhere, and the first time like normal people shows up, he just like kills them with his bare hands.
Tries to fight the car.
Yeah, he beats up a car. But Bulma made the Dragon Radar. She made the rocket ship. She made the friggin' time machine for Trunks. Did she make the medicine that Goku took for his heart condition? I can't remember. I don't know. She makes a lot of stuff. She makes the stuff they all train in.
Yeah, and she fixes stuff.
Like, she's their Q. Like,
I think she's really smart.
Yeah.
She can be very whingy, but I love her, get it done attitude.
I like
Bulma a lot.
She's a pretty interesting character because she also totally like nailed down Vegeta. Like,
I still don't buy that.
I buy that.
It doesn't make sense.
I don't know. You can make a hoe housewife. or a Super Saiyan prince, a house man, or whatever.
I don't know.
He's still an awful
He's too
father.
much of a
but
prince.
I don't know. I love that they're both super entitled. They're both kind of like
They are.
they're bratty idiots, but they're both also good at what they do.
I think one of the
So-
recent movies, someone like punches Bulma, and Vegeta just gets so angry. It's very cute.
I like that.
Yeah.
Karin, kind of a deeper cut here, but he's the dude who grows all the senzu beans, and also the one who like basically trained Goku to beat Piccolo in the first place.
Also very fluffy.
Yeah, he's a funny cat who lives up in a tower. He's like Kami's downstairs neighbor, but he grows all their senzu beans. How many times is
really
a
need
senzu
those.
bean just a thing that? And he's always like, "Hey, everybody, I just got this big thing of beans, so you know."
His character just in the ground, half dying, and it's like, oh, y'all need beans?
You want a bean? You want some beans?
All right,
I'll
everything's
cheer you up.
fine.
All right. Yeah.
This is like probably my favorite
Go nuts.
Dragon Ball character is King Kai. I wish that I could do his voice.
I don't want to try right now.
I kind of don't want to try either, but I absolutely adore his voice. He's just like a cheeky little, very panicky guy who's always worried that everything is going to go horribly wrong and Goku's doing everything wrong. And I feel like his like main emotion is like, ah!
Yeah.
He also just like lives on this cute little planet with a monkey.
Yeah, I
a
love
great
that.
guy.
No, he's great because he's like, I feel like he's like a guy who secured like a really good desk job. Like
Yeah.
he's got like
Yeah.
he's like really close to retirement, and then Goku shows up and like is like, yeah, we're pushing the boundaries of living existence. And,
Always. That's all he ever does.
Yeah.
And
So
everyone panics always.
Yeah, I don't know, he's great. But then his house gets blown up, and he's like, oh, I gotta do stuff again. Here's one, Nail, who's basically the Piccolo. He's basically the Goku of Namek. Like he's the strongest dude on Namek, which isn't saying much when like Frieza shows up. But
He was the strongest Namekian, and then he like merged with Piccolo,
Yeah.
right? So he's still technically the strongest Namekian.
yeah, he just becomes a part of Piccolo.
Just part of Piccolo.
I don't know. Nail's a cool guy. He gets kind of swept under the rug because he's like this other dude. They're just like, oh, you want to help us? And they all kind of look the same except for the big huge old one. And Dende.
And Dende, yeah. Cute little one and big old one.
Mr. Popo.
There's that man.
My problematic fave. I love how Mr. Popo is like crazy, stupid, super strong, but he doesn't really do anything because that's not his job.
And people are really scared of him.
Yeah.
But he's just like kind of a nice guy.
Like he kind of he's sort of like a almost a mean-spirited Alfred. Like he sort of like hangs out with Kami and he's like, I don't know, he doesn't he beat the crap out of Trunks and Goten?
Yes.
Like that's nuts. He also like he beats up Goku and Vegeta's children. Like
Yeah, he does.
How huge do your balls have to be to do that? Like, oh, here are the guys who blow up planets occasionally. I'm gonna beat their kids up.
But also, can we just talk about that face? Look at those dead little eyes.
I like him. People
Well-
say that it's racist, and maybe it is, but I don't know. I think he's a fun man. Get out of there.
Stop
Get
that.
out of there.
Damn it.
One of my favorites,
Mr. Satan.
Mr. Satan, as he's called everywhere, but I guess the West, or Hercule, stateside.
Yes.
I think he's just a funny character. Like he's just great.
He's so definable. Like he's
Yeah.
just entirely ego, but he's still like a nice guy.
he's Steven Seagal.
And he just takes credit for everything that he didn't really do.
Yeah, but then he becomes like their friend, and he kind of basically becomes like their front man. Like he sort of like helps spin stuff. Like I love in the later stuff where they're like they want to compete in the tournament, and he's like, hey, can you help us rig this? And he's like, he's just great. Also, the fact that he like basically, if random dudes with guns hadn't shown up, he would have totally not defeated, but like taken care of Boo.
Yeah, which is crazy.
That series would have been over so much
That
quicker.
kind of doesn't really make sense in the grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
but he's also like a real sweet dad.
Yeah,
Doesn't
I like
let us
him.
go
He's a
on
great
dates
guy.
and
Yeah. I like it when he fakes having diarrhea because he doesn't want to do stuff. I think that's pretty good.
Never thought I would have liked someone called Mr. Satan, but here we go.
And then Tenshin Han, who's just awesome. He's just a great dude. I've always said
Very
that,
helpful guy.
In the same way that people whose favorite Ninja Turtle is Donatello frequently turn out to
Thank
be
you.
good people.
Thank you.
People whose favorite DBZ character is Tien or Tenshin Han are just they're just good people. It's just I feel like he's one of those guys who's just he kind of hangs back. Sometimes he totally goes all out, like when he blasts Cell into a hole in the ground. Like he's a cool guy. And
He's really nice and helpful, and he's a good supporting character
Yeah. So
and a good friend.
one of my favorites, Yajirobe. He's not a good character.
I
He's just-
kind of hate him.
He's kind of no. He's awesome. I love that everybody else learns how to fly, and he's like, I don't do that. I just bought a car. And his car gets blown up, and he's like, hey Gohan, fly me home to my house. And he just lives in a tower with Car, and he just eats all the senzu beans because he's a gross dude.
Gross
He's
chubby
pretty-
man. I also
he's-
feel like that's his constant facial expression.
Yeah.
It's just complete anger.
No, he's basically he's the same as Goku. Like, that's how he's introduced in Dragon Ball, is he's like this super strong dude who lives in the woods and like kills monsters and eats them and stuff. But he's a jerk. That's the difference. Whereas
Well, Goku
Goku's
was-
like...
Yeah, no, Goku's super sweet.
Yeah. So, I mean, Yajirobe just cracks me up. Also, they totally wouldn't have beaten Vegeta if he hadn't shown up with his sword and sliced his tail off.
That's true.
Yeah. So on that note, yeah. Who do we miss? Who is the most underrated DBZ character? We got a question about that actually, didn't we? Somebody asked about.
Yeah, we did. But there's one here that is, which Dragon Ball Z character would you take on in a fight? This is from Wyatt Terry Milton on Twitter. Krillin.
Oolong.
I kind of want to say Beerus because you can just distract him with food.
Yeah, just give him some pudding. Whatever.
Yeah, and then he's fine.
All right.
Which is like the most powerful. It's fine. You just give him some food.
So while we're talking about funky Japanese stuff, this watch showed up. It is a very valuable watch, or just expensive. I'm not sure which. It's a Mario-themed watch. This is from, I think it's from a place called Individualistic Tribe. I ran this through Google Translate, so it might be a little bit strange. To say, playful, watch us too, bold tastes. Hourglass robots, such as Game Icon, indeed want to brag that you have to introduce a fun timepiece unique. So,
all right, excellent translation.
Yeah. In the arm of human history, you've got this beautiful, I guess, Mario watch. Unfortunately, there are only 85 of them being made.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it costs 2,700,000 yen.
Yen, which is $26,978 US dollars. Yeah, that's rough.
And honestly, when it comes to watches, I feel like that's not that expensive. Like,
but I mean, maybe if it was like a gold watch, but this is just black.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably gold on the inside. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, if you've got maybe if you get tired of having a car and you want to trade it for a car for your hand, I have a Casio that I bought for like $20 in 2007. So that's probably not going to be
nice.
What I get, but yeah, watches, man. They're
I don't know.
crazy.
I think it looks kind of sleek. And watches are collector's items. I had a friend who worked for a company where if you stayed there for 12 years, they would give you like a $30,000 watch. It's like, why not just leave at that point with that excellent...
Yeah. Do we have any other questions from our fine viewers?
We did have Harry Leozides?
Uh-huh.
At Il Grill Chill, who said, can't watch live today, but it would be hella meta if I get a shout out and see it later.
Whoa! That's
shout out to Harry.
That's cool.
Hella meta makes me think you're probably from California.
Hella meta. Or
people.
A user of the computer internet. If you missed the show live or you're just tuning in, we always put up the full live show. You know, we're on YouTube, we're on IGN.com, and
so you can watch it later.
We try to break out little clips in fun ways so you can watch them, and you know, that's how we do things.
We did also get a question from David Joseph Wesley, who said, "What would Pepper's evolution be called?" Your dog is Pepper's.
Yeah,
it's a little black Pomeranian for those who don't know. He does this
looks...
thing with his teeth where he just sort of like. I couldn't see what we just did then, but I hope it was perfectly in unison.
Probably Peppercini.
What would it look like? It'd be
I think he would just be
like a black Samoyed.
I think he'd be like fluffier, or he'd have like two tails or something. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's chill. What kind of type? I think he's a fire Pokemon.
He's a fire. Yeah, he's named Peppers.
Black Pomeranian. You know?
Yeah. So yeah, that's our show. I think we're about ready to wrap up. Do we have a live show coming up next? We got 1 minute.
Yeah, maybe like 1 minute.
We got 1 minute.
We do have one last question that I kind of want to answer.
Okay.
From Cursed Souls, if you can have a game from the fall today, which one would it be?
That's a great question.
Yes, I think so too. There's so many good shooters coming out.
You go first.
I'm going to say Gears of War.
Gears of War, really? Okay.
Yeah, very excited about it.
I'm going to say Watch Dogs.
That's a good one.
I really want to play Watch Dogs. I think it looks so much fun. I love open world games. I get sucked into them if they like really just hit that mark.
Yeah, and it's San Francisco where we are, obviously, so.
Yeah, and I mean, I know people criticize Ubisoft for having that kind of same formula of like, oh, go, get that watchtower or whatever, go check out that thing.
They do that a lot.
That said, I'm really excited about Battlefield.
Yeah.
I saw a clip of two guys fighting on horseback with swords, and they were just like hitting each other, and it looked dumb.
Yeah, Battlefield 1 looks awesome. Titanfall looks great. There's so many good shooters coming out.
Yeah, this is a really good fall for games. What do you guys think?
It's been a good year.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments. On that note, we're going to wrap things up here. We have a ton of awesome content from Gamescom last week, so feel free to check that out. Feel free to plug stuff here. We do Podcast Beyond every week. We just did one this week where I wore a wig.
Yeah, he did. It was fabulous.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have two podcasts that you should check out. I'm on Xbox and PlayStation, Beyond and Unlocked. And I also just wanted to mention, the reason that I'm particularly excited about Gears of War 4 is that we have our IGN First this month has been for Gears of War. We sent a couple of people up to the Coalition to check it out, and we've got tons of exclusive videos and content and maps. So if you're interested in Gears, definitely.
Did you ask them why they didn't call it Gears of 4? Or just Gears, but the 4 is
I mean,
the A in there.
I didn't go, but
I don't think that game's gonna be any good. They didn't do anything cool with where they put the 4 in
Damn
it.
it.
On that note, we're gonna wrap things up. You can find us both on Twitter. I'm Max Scoville. She's Charalanahzard. And your birthday was yesterday. So
was,
go
yeah.
wish Alana a nice happy birthday. Send her some cool pictures of dogs. I love you guys very much, and have a wonderful weekend.